These are 5 Rolex Cosmograph, Daytona, and Submariner models that millions of watch enthusiasts dream of owning. But here's the brutal truth. Most will never get the chance to buy them at retail price. Despite Rolex cranking out over 1 million Swiss-made watches annually from their Geneva, Switzerland headquarters, certain references have become virtually impossible to obtain through authorized dealers. This creates a parallel universe where waitlists stretch beyond a decade and your purchase history matters more than the cash you are carrying. What most people think they know about Rolex waitlists is completely wrong. That idea of a waitlist everyone talks about is not actually a queue at all. Rolex authorized dealers do not operate numbered lists where customers wait their turn. Instead, they maintain interest registries, basically wish lists where your name sits alongside thousands of others, with zero guarantee you will ever get that call. When a coveted piece arrives at the dealership, allocation decisions come down to purchase history, relationship strength, and whether the dealer thinks you will actually wear the watch or flip it for profit on platforms like Chrono24. This system has created an environment where certain models have transcended normal market dynamics, rivaling even Patek Philippe and Audemar's Piguet in terms of retail scarcity. To understand why these 5 watches are nearly impossible to obtain, we need to examine the mathematics of supply and demand that govern today's Rolex market in 2025. The Cosmograph Daytona in steel. The stainless steel Daytona, reference 126500LN, powered by the caliber 4131 movement, represents the holy grail of unobtainable Rolexes. This chronograph comes with either a black or white dial and has achieved legendary status that extends far beyond the watch collecting community. The numbers reveal a sobering story about just how impossible this watch has become. At a single authorized dealer in Manhattan, between 50 and 100 people register interest in a Daytona every single day. Taking the conservative estimate of 75 inquiries daily, that's over 27,000 people expressing interest at just one location per year. Now multiply that across thousands of dealers worldwide, and you'll start to grasp the scale of this demand. The production reality makes these numbers even more crushing. Rolex manufactures approximately 110,000 Daytonas annually across all variations: steel, gold, platinum, and gem set models. The steel versions represent only a fraction of that total production. When you consider global distribution across thousands of authorized dealers, each location might receive 2 or 3 steel Daytonas per year, if they are lucky. Recent investigations by watch journalists have revealed wait times that border on the absurd. One reporter visiting authorized dealers in New York was told the wait for a steel Daytona would be 15 years if they were even willing to add his name to their interest list. 3 out of 4 dealers he visited simply refused to engage with the request entirely. The secondary market reflects this scarcity with brutal efficiency. Steel Daytonas that retail for approximately $15,000 regularly trade for $30,000 or more on the pre-owned market, according to Watch Charts data. This price premium is not speculation, it is a direct reflection of the mathematical impossibility of obtaining one through normal channels. The Le Mans Daytona. If the standard steel Daytona is difficult, the Le Mans edition represents a different category entirely. Watches that exist in theory, but remain practically unobtainable for anyone without extraordinary connections or spending history. Released in June 2023 to commemorate the centenary of the Le Mans race, the reference 126529LN immediately became the rarest modern Daytona. This white gold chronograph carries special significance beyond its limited production. Rolex originally called their first chronograph the Le Mans in 1963 before eventually settling on the Daytona name. The 2023 release represents a return to those roots, creating an immediate connection to horological history that collectors find irresistible. Industry estimates suggest only a few hundred pieces were produced worldwide. Unlike limited editions from other manufacturers that might produce thousands of pieces, Rolex's approach to special releases involves production numbers so small they barely register statistically. The allocation process for these pieces bypasses normal dealer procedures entirely, going directly to clients with 7-figure annual spending histories. Secondary market prices for the Le Mans Daytona range from $225,000 to $260,000 in 2025, roughly 4 times the theoretical retail price. But even these astronomical figures do not tell the complete story. Many examples never reach public sale, moving directly from Rolex to collectors who view them as trophies rather than timepieces. The GMT-Master II Pepsi. The red and blue GMT-Master II, affectionately known as the Pepsi for its resemblance to the soda brand's colors, represents 60 years of aviation heritage compressed into one of the most recognizable watches ever created. The current steel reference 126710BLRO, with its caliber 3285 movement, continues a lineage that began in 1955 when Rolex created the original GMT Master for Pan Am pilots. The Pepsi's desirability stems from its perfect storm of factors: iconic design, practical functionality, and cultural significance. Unlike purely luxury pieces, the GMT Master serves a genuine purpose for travelers, making it appealing to both collectors and users. This dual appeal exponentially increases demand beyond what Rolex can reasonably supply. Current wait times for the steel Pepsi average between 2 to 5 years as of 2025, depending on location and dealer relationship. But these timelines come with significant caveats. Many authorized dealers have stopped accepting new names for their Pepsi interest lists, recognizing that current demand makes promises impossible to keep. Others require substantial purchases of other watches before considering a GMT allocation. The retail price of approximately $11,000 seems almost quaint compared to secondary market reality, where examples regularly trade between $15,000 and $20,000. This premium persists because the alternative to waiting years involves paying nearly double retail price immediately. The Sky Dweller in steel. The Sky Dweller represents Rolex's most complex current production watch, combining an annual calendar, a dual time zone, and a sophisticated month indication in a package that challenges traditional perceptions of what Rolex creates. The steel versions, particularly those with blue or mint green dials, have achieved waiting list status that rivals the brand's sports watches. What makes the Sky Dweller particularly challenging to obtain is the complexity of its manufacture. The caliber 9001 movement requires significantly more assembly time than simpler three-hand watches, directly limiting production capacity. When Rolex can produce 10 Submariner movements in the time it takes to complete one Sky Dweller, the allocation mathematics become clear. The steel Sky Dweller with fluted white gold bezel, what Rolex terms white rolls ore, occupies a unique position in the lineup. It offers precious metal aesthetics at steel watch pricing, creating demand that far exceeds the modest production numbers Rolex can achieve with such complex pieces. Wait times for popular dial configurations stretch from 1 to 3 years, with the blue dial version being particularly sought after. The complexity premium is real. Gold Sky Dweller models remain readily available, while steel versions command multi-year waits, demonstrating how material choice can completely alter market dynamics. The Submariner Starbucks. The green-bezeled Submariner, reference 126610LV, powered by caliber 3235, earned its Starbucks nickname from the watch community's obsession with coffee-themed monikers. This 2020 release combined the classic black dial with a green ceramic bezel, creating immediate demand that continues to challenge dealer allocation systems. The Starbucks represents an evolution from its predecessor, the Kermit Submariner, which featured a green bezel with a green dial. By returning to the black dial while keeping the distinctive green bezel, Rolex created a watch that appeals to both traditionalists and modern collectors. Production allocation for the Starbucks remains severely constrained, with most dealers receiving between 10 and 30 pieces each year. Submariner variants are among Rolex's highest demand references, and those allocation numbers create waiting lists that stretch well beyond reasonable expectations. The secondary market premium for the Starbucks has cooled from its 2020 to 2021 peaks, but it remains premium. Examples no longer trade at double retail pricing, yet the consistent premium reflects ongoing supply constraints with no sign of resolution. The fundamental reality behind these 5 models is mathematical. Rolex's conservative production increase of roughly 2% annually cannot keep pace with global demand that continues expanding. Until this equation changes, either through dramatically increased production or significantly reduced demand, these watches will remain effectively unobtainable for the vast majority of enthusiasts who desire them. This is not artificial scarcity or market manipulation. It is the natural result of a company that prioritizes quality control and brand prestige over maximum production volume, creating a luxury ecosystem where desire far exceeds supply and patience becomes the most valuable currency of all.